Hi there. In this video, I thought I would go through and sort of review the top 5 questions I ask potential clients and new investors. This is really something I wanted to put out there just again so people can get to know a little bit more about me, maybe help them understand if they're going into a new market, what they should be thinking about, and most importantly, just continue giving back to the community. As always, if you happen to watch this video and like it, please leave a thumbs up or a like. And also make sure you share the video so it helps expand the reach and number of people we're helping along the way. So the first thing I want to do is highlight sort of why I do this, why I interview clients. Someone might think it's odd that somebody in a commission-based business wouldn't just take every phone call and start doing work. So I thought I'd just go through that. We're going to review each question in detail and, more importantly, sort of the why of the question, and hopefully leave you with some things to think about. Then we're going to talk about what's sort of on my path, right? Real estate salesperson license is just one step in another journey that I'm taking, and I want to sort of highlight that for you. So let's get started. Well, I sort of have 2 answers to this. The first answer is a short one, and it's probably counterintuitive to some of you, but I value time a lot more than any artificial dollar amount. Obviously, this channel is highlighted many times. I no longer do this for the income. I'm doing this because I truly want to give back. And when you're in that kind of situation, time is far more important to you. So I value time more than I do some incremental dollar amount. But here's the longer answer. I actually think, when you sort of come at this and you interview clients, you can actually help them. I think a lot of new investors say they're ready, but they're sort of starting from a very weak foundation, right? And they may even buy something, right? They may be in a rush and feel like they have to buy something, but I think doing that sets them up for failure, and I won't do that. I won't just take a commission and, know that investor is going to fail and leave them somewhere. That's not who I am and not what we're going to do. So instead, by going through the interview, we're going to make sure that we are starting from the best foundation we can. If that means a little bit of more research or more discussions or whatever, I think it's far more important to have that kind of dialogue up front. Maybe save them some stress, right? If you have these kind of discussions and they don't purchase, that's okay, right? Real estate investing wasn't for them, and they were going to wash out after 1 or 2 purchases and maybe sell them and lose money and continually say that real estate's bad. That's not okay. I think real estate investing is obviously a worthy adventure, especially if you're tackling financial freedom or other goals that you may have. And I want to help people do that. But I don't, it's not a, kind of, hey, let's go buy something, sell it 6 months and all of that, which, hopefully nobody really thinks that, but you never want to get started with, when your client is on a different page than you are. And lastly, and this is most important to me, frankly, I want to have a legacy that hopefully lives longer than I do. And you'll sort of see this in my wrap-up slide and why I think there's a bigger play here. But I want to create a legacy of success in helping others achieve financial independence that lives a lot longer than me. Maybe I got 50 more years or whatever is left, but hopefully I'm helping some of you create portfolios that outlive both of us, and we create generational wealth. That would be, that would put a smile on my face, and what I want to do over, getting 1 or 2 commission checks, which is so not important to me. So, okay, here are the questions. I think I've talked about this before, but again, we'll just go through all of them. I need to understand where the goal is, right? What's the finish line look like? For us, it was 15 grand, and we changed it over time to 20, net cash flow. But what is yours, right? Some of you may be okay with 3,000. Maybe some of you are 5 or 8 or, who knows? But we're going to talk about it, and we're going to be on the same page. And if it changes over time, it changes over time. But we're going to both know together where the finish line is. Because if you don't know where the target is, how are you going to get there? Another way of saying that is you can't hit what you don't see. So, every time we're looking at a new acquisition, or we're looking at a 1031 exchange, or we're looking at a different kind of asset, we're going to make sure it fits your unique journey, right? It's good for you. what's good for you or good for someone else is not good for you, and vice versa. So we're gonna do that. The goal is gonna help us understand when to when to buy, when to sell, exchange, whatnot. Right? We're gonna basically be on the same page, and I think the whole analogy of a hike, maybe hike up a mountain, or what I've called a journey lots of times, is important, because we're going to be able to establish base camps. And if the market gets crazy like it did in 7 and 8, we'll hit a pause button. I did it before. It was the right move. And if it happens to go that way again, we'll do that together. Maybe it's, hey, take some houses and 1031 exchange. And, I don't know, but we're going to do this together. This one's vital. And actually, a lot of people get this wrong. Is you've got to make sure your significant other is on board 100%, and not 95%, not 98%, 100%. Trust me, have these conversations. And more importantly, continue to have them, right? I'm not saying just have the conversation before you do anything, but have the conversation. Tell them what's going on, right? I have seen situations where couples are all in together and they're both active, as in my situation. Other times it's, nope, honey, you go take care of it, I don't want anything to do with it. I would tell you don't let that happen, because surprises will happen. I believe real estate investing is going to test you. And by test you, I mean they're going to throw curveballs, and you're going to have a bad month, or maybe you have 2 bad months in a row. And it's something that I think tries to test you and spit you out. And if you're not on the same page and you're not realizing that this is just another test, it could be a problem. The other thing I found for most people is this journey is full of sacrifice and commitment. It's not easy, right? When you get a nice commission check, or you get some kind of liquidity event, or you whatever, it's very easy to go, honey, let's go update the car, and the car is only 3 years old, but I need a new one, and blah 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 blah. Or, you know what, let's go take this vacation. So and so just did it and they said it was great. And yeah, I know it's 10 or 15 or whatever $1,000, but we only live once, and let's do it while we're young. And all of these things I've heard. So if you're not on the same page, it's difficult to get around that. And then lastly is, real estate investing can absolutely be stressful. When you have a bad month, or you have 2 bad months, it's rough. So just make sure the only stress you're having is from real estate, and not your relationships. Again, it should be obvious there in the third bullet. It's not a get-rich-quick business you're signing up for. So this could take 10, 15, 20 years. Are you okay with that? I think any journey worth taking, it's going to take a while. It should have vistas and whatnot that you can look at, or base camps where you can take a pause and celebrate, frankly, which is something I've admitted to failing at. But you're not going to get to the top in 6 months, or even 2 or 3 years, at least most of the time. Maybe there's an exception, but I don't think so. Not most of the time. It's a worthy goal, financial independence, right? I think it's something that while you're working full time, it should be your goal. Working full time, being a full time employee, shouldn't be just about paying your bills and having some money left over. I think that's the definition of the rat race, and that gets old. That's frankly what scared the heck out of me when I started. Was I didn't want to just keep waking up and working 9 to 5 without trying to do something else. Again, 15 years, keep doing it, keep on the daily grind was it had to be done. But I always knew I had this other thing going on that nobody could see, and I knew where it was, and it was a great feeling to know that when you got there, you could take your life into your own hands. So I hope you get on that path, and we do this together. Again, one thing I've admitted to doing is we're going to make sure you celebrate some successes along the way. I call them base camps here in this bullet, but you want to call them vistas or whatever you want to call them. Again, it was a mistake of mine not to do that and just to keep trudging ahead. But that's something you should think about. And then this was a question that I had the other day, actually on a podcast, was, what's the definition about rich versus wealthy? And this is what I sort of think. I think when you think rich, and I think this is actually a tax definition, is if your income exceeds 200 or 250 grand in any single year, you're supposedly rich. I think that's stupid, frankly. I don't. I don't think. I don't think rich has. I guess rich is, yeah. You're rich if you have some kind of income and you can afford nice things. But I mean, just think about some of the professional athletes that we hear about all the time that make tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. You can be rich for a minute, um, but rich doesn't last. Rich, frankly, is a problem. Especially being cash rich is a problem. I think wealthy is the ability to live your lifestyle as comfortably as you so choose without potentially needing an income. Sure, you can have income, but do you need income? Right? Some of the things that people talk to me about is, yeah, you talk about being retired, but you're doing this real estate thing. Well, I don't have to. I do it because I'm young and I love what I do, and I probably do it for free. But you know, I certainly don't have to. And if I want to take 2 months off to do a 60-day cruise, I'm gone. So um, I really think we should strive to be wealthy, and being rich is I think it's a problem. Is some of the professional athletes would tell you is that money can get, come and go really quick. I got to make sure that when I talk to a new investor, where they sit in the ready, willing, and able, right? This is the whole notion that you're not really, in the market unless you're all three. Yeah, you could be ready, but you're not willing. You could be ready and willing, but not able. So I need to figure out where they are. Not so that I can say no to helping them, but I just want to make sure we're on the same page, right? So if you're on research mode and you just need some more stuff, great. That's what this website, this YouTube channel is all about. Keep diving in, keep getting comfortable, keep asking questions. If you're ready, but you don't have an idea on your first investment, great. Let's figure it out. And then, being able is, okay, have you gone to the first step of getting a pre-call or a pre-approval letter? And have you talked to a bank about getting an investment loan, and just making sure you're truly able to do this? And then lastly, is there anything preventing you from making an offer, right? Notice I said offer and not purchase. I think this is where lots of people get lost. Just because you're making an offer, um, you know, doesn't mean that it's going to happen, right? Because we're going to make offers that make sense to your plan, and make sure that that's the right thing to do. The one thing I also want to make sure of is a lot of people I speak with, especially new clients, they have a kind of idea on what their first investment should look like, feel like, be, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page and make sure we talk about it. If they think it should be a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage house, and I bring them a fourplex, it's probably a problem, right? But if we can talk about it and either A, realize that, yeah, you know what, they should do a bread and butter 2-car garage because it's, they're just testing it out, feeling it out, and they want the most flexibility if they want to decide to sell in a year. Great, that's definitely a house. But maybe the idea is, yeah, they think it's a house because that's what their friend said. But again, according to their plan, maybe a fourplex is the better option. We got to get on the same page, and we're going to make sure we do that together. The other thing is I adopted this notion for new investors of ready, fire, aim. So this is what I mean. Ready means we're just on the same page. We're looking around. I'm sending you possibilities. Fire means we write up an offer. An aim is, okay, the offer is accepted. Now let's go use our contingencies to see if we want to actually close. Now we're not going to go and, hopefully, get 10 things locked up and then back out all of them because we get nervous. That's not what we're trying to do. But hey, if we go do the inspections and, the expenses are higher than we thought, or the roof needs work or whatever, we're going to get out, right? We're not going to go ready, then go down and look at it, aim, and then after we do our review, fire. You can't do that in a seller's market. So we're going to get on the same page together, and then just make sure that we're ready and comfortable with this strategy. This is a bonus question I added, and this is really a question I ask you to ask yourself. I'm putting it out there because I think it's fun. It is meant to kind of wake you up, but let's see. I want you to ask yourself if you're comfortable being crap, and notice the capital letters, and it's not meant to be, a bad word, because it's just what the letters stand for, right? Crap stands for being cash rich and asset poor. If you want to be cash rich and asset poor, it's okay. It's totally okay. If that's the case, though, real estate investing is not for you. because real estate investing consumes cash, right? It puts cash to work. And if you want to be cash rich and asset poor, this is not the game for you. If you need to have a big pile of cash to feel comfortable, this is not the business for you. If you want to have a big pile of cash when you exit full-time employment, not the business for you, right? Unless you want to sell all your assets right before you leave. I suggest that being asset rich and cash poor is a better goal, because this is, again, the difference of rich and wealthy. I think you're rich if you leave with a bunch of cash, but it's going to go. It may go slow, it may go fast, depending on your lifestyle. But I think having assets that feed you every month is a far better way to go. So again, the ultimate goal, right? I just finished my last class. I think I take my test tomorrow on that last class, which will then allow me to get registered for the California Real Estate Salesperson license. Once I get that, it will be on to getting the brokerage license and really creating that brokerage that's predominantly focused on investors. One of the things that I'll be setting up in the meantime is I'm going to be creating a virtual team of buyer agents, right? I don't live in Fresno, and we're going to be setting up a process and volume and agents that I support and work with, so we can keep attacking that market. And if we want, somebody could be down there every day kind of looking at stuff. Another thing I'm doing is I haven't done it yet, but I'm looking at marketing to sellers or potential sellers whose properties are not even listed. Right, there's a whole business around marketing to off-market properties, and where it makes sense, I am going to look at doing that because it gives us additional options, right? I think there's plenty of inventory in the MLS, and there's plenty of deals out there, but if for some reason I can help uncover a couple that aren't, maybe that helps all of us, going forward. I'm going to create sort of a process and templates and all of this to make sure that people that are my clients are treated as evenly and as the same as each other, because I think it's important to set that up, and really it's going to help ultimately set up the templates and processes and services for the brokerage. So I'm going to try to act that way now and improve it over time, but that's where we're going. And then lastly, I really do think I want to create a monthly road trip for clients and potential clients. Now, if you're one of my clients and we're making offers, we're going to set up a process that you go down when you lock something up, or someone will go for you or whatnot. So this isn't for that. This monthly road trip is really for potential clients. So somebody who hasn't made an offer yet that needs to get comfortable with Fresno and wants to do that. So I'm convinced that if we do a bus trip or a van trip, depending on how many people want to go, we can use that time down there, 2.5 hours, 3 hours, to go through questions, set up the day, all of that. We can probably go look at, a collection of assets together, somewhere 5, 7 different things, and then drive back. And I think in that one day, we can accomplish a lot of things together and really set up new clients or potential clients to figure out if Fresno is for them, and if Fresno is for them, if I'm the salesperson that's the best one to help them. So I think that's something we're going to do. There's lots of parts to that, but I think that's important to set out there as a goal. So in the end, thanks for listening to this nearly 20-minute video. Make sure you like it, share it with friends. If you have anybody looking at potentially real estate investing in California and more specifically Fresno, send them my contact details. The website, One Rental at a Time, is just about up, and have a great day.